Okay, I hate to say it, but I'm seeing a daily pattern now of creating very intense thunderstorms that then travel over the same area every day or every 2 or 3 days. And obviously it's flooding the fields and preventing the farmers from working their fields, and I don't know, maybe going to destroy a lot of the crops from having too much moisture. But let me just show you. We have the typical Haarp downburst over the Texas Panhandle. It happens every day, but with the jet stream now going this way, then it builds these, it overruns the surface low, and you get these intensified thunderstorms. And last night we saw it. Last night, today's June 15, so yesterday was June 14, they had done a downburst here, and the jet stream carried violent thunderstorms. In fact, the remnant is still up here from last night's attack. And I am calling this a Haarp attack now, because this is, you know, it's too much rain, and it appears to follow a daily pattern. And let me show you the precip totals from last night's quote attack. Okay, so they did this Haarp downburst in eastern Colorado, and you can see these thunderstorms. You know, that dark green there, or the yellow, that yellow is 8 inches. Dark green's 4 to 8 inches. The middle green is 2 to 4 inches. This is some dramatic flooding. And from what I saw yesterday on the Haarp, this is intentional. Okay, and now this morning, let me show you what is happening. This is water vapor mode, and we can see this this ring, this dark ring here, expanding outward. Here's the dark ring expanding outward. Another set of dark rings expanding outward. And if we look at the pressure map for the surface, we can see there's a high pressure here. Okay, there is a high pressure there. So that doesn't actually line up with what we're seeing here in the Panhandle. And the jet stream is going the other way, going to the east, to the northeast. So what we're seeing with that dark ring of dry air does not correspond to this map here, and that's typical. And from the Goes East satellite, we can see it really nice and clear, and believe me, this happens every single day. Then that, actually we can see 3 of them. Here's a group of dark rings, here's a group of dark rings, here's a group of dark rings. So here they are, they're smearing it out so that it's not seen on satellite clearly. And then it overruns the surface low and generates these violent flooding storms. And if we look at the Pacific view from the west, it's even clearer. Here we see a set of dark rings. Here we see a set of dark rings. So, you know, that's just a Haarp downburst. It's a Haarp downburst. And then that's going to overrun. It goes to the northeast, generates these nasty storms. So, you know, I got to ask everybody now, how many times now have we seen violent thunderstorms start right at this line and then move east? Flooding, hail, tornadoes, and just wind, but mostly it's flooding to where, you know, you can't put 1 inch to 2 inches of rain on a cornfield or soybean field every single day and expect to have a crop. So this appears to still be the Haarp attack on the agricultural regions of North America, the breadbasket of of the world, you know, the corn belt, soybean belt, this is happening every single day. It's because of the dry air here. And if we look at just the conventional weather map, it just, you know, this is almost like to hide the Haarp downburst. They're showing this high here, and oh, it's like a cold front or something. But I don't trust this map. This is, without the isobars, I just don't trust it. And I mean, this map here is much, much better. And it shows basically the same thing, except the area of interest. This is showing that this is a weak low pressure here, and the high pressure is up in Colorado. So what we're seeing here is unexplained, according to this better quality map. So as far as the drought monitor, you know, again, this drought monitor map corresponds to what we're seeing. These storms happening every single day. From the Haarp can reach from Fargo to Dallas, this line here. East of that, it just really doesn't have the ability to create the downburst of dry air. So where are we seeing these storms? We see the drought continuing. Well, thank God the Texas Panhandle's gotten a lot of great rain. I mean, like an inch once a week, they get an inch. What a godsend, I'm telling you. But it's still extreme drought, exceptional drought in some areas. But from this line east, flooding. From this line west, the Haarp still has control. So I don't know what else to say other than it ain't good. Here we got the here's a view from daybreak. And we can't really see it in, well, actually you can, because we see those these storm clouds disappearing pretty well down here, which happens every single day. Every single day. Alright, nothing to see there. Already showed you this view. You know, that's just, here we see these multiple circular dark areas of dark dry air, and they're like, I see one, I see two, and where this dark air hits, where the dry air is pressed down, the clouds disappear. But then that overruns, and you get intensification, what the meteorologists call increased convection, is the phrase, and intensified storms. So it appears the Haarp is still being used as a weapon to stop agriculture in the U.S. I mean, California is still under the most vicious, intense, unbelievable drought. Just no rain at all for what? I don't know, a year in the critical growing area. And they set this stuff up here as the opposite type of agricultural problem, which is flooding, continual flooding in the Corn Belt. So it almost seems like it's a slap in the face to people who are complaining about Haarp and drought, namely me, since I'm the only one in the entire planet proving these claims. And I will say that many of these satellite images are proof, but they're getting harder and harder to find because of the photoshopping. And you know, that's another thing that needs to be done, is someone needs to come out and say these satellite images are public property, paid for by the public. I mean, these Navy admirals and Air Force generals running these programs, they didn't pay for these satellites with their pension money, now did they? And yet they are the ones giving the orders to hide this stuff on satellite. Well, that's a criminal activity. That's committing fraud on the American people. And these guys should be held accountable. Somebody in Congress, please go ahead and start some legislation rolling that anybody who messes with this public property, which is the satellites and the satellite maps, you're committing organized crime. I think that's perfectly reasonable. The American taxpayers have paid for these satellite images. And instead of getting information that we need, everything's all smeared over, grayed out. One of my favorite things to watch is this little dude here. Son of a... And you can see it's daybreak, and you know, there's always something odd happening with that thing there. And even this little tiny island right off Los Angeles often has tiny weird things happening with it. But this stuff, this is fraud. This is fraud and organized crime. And if this country stands for anything, these criminals should be held accountable for what they're doing. Well, you guys in the Corn Belt, I'm sorry, but looks like you're getting too much of a good thing, I'm afraid. You guys start complaining about this. Thank you for watching.